Yo, everybody. Hey, it's Jerad Ruth here with Skogman Realty. Today, we had a little technical difficulties back there at 3 o'clock, but hopefully we're up and running right now. But we're going to try to bring on new home specialist Ashley and see if she can join us here. So let me try. Yep. Oh, yeah. So the update worked. Okay, so hold on 1 second here. So Ashley should be getting, oh, it's connecting. It works.
Hey. All right. Oh, I gotta go this way.
Yeah, go that way. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you.
Need it to be louder?
No, not unless you want me to be.
I think we're good. How's that?
Perfect.
Thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having me. I am trying to figure out where to place this phone so it doesn't feel so creepy. All right. Does that work?
All right, better? Perfect. I can see you. I can hear you. I think we're good to go. So for those of you that don't know Ashley, she works for Skogman Homes. What's your title there at Skogman Homes, Ashley?
I am a new home specialist.
Okay, and also a licensed real estate agent too.
Yes, indeed.
Right on. How long have you been doing the new homes thing?
So I got started in new construction right out of college. I'm embarrassed to say how long ago that was.
Can't be longer than me.
Let's see, it was 2005, so I'm pretty sure it's definitely over a decade.
Well, I went to school. I went to college in 2002, so a little bit long.
So we're right there.
Yeah, but we still look great.
Exactly. Really good genetics, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I worked for a builder then, and I've also done real estate, like Jerad on the residential side, and then recently moved to back to working with a builder about 2 years ago. So I've been with Skogman since about 2014.
Oh wow! Yeah.
I'm sorry. What year is it? 2000.
It's 2017.
Yep, since 2016. Sorry.
Right on. Well, good
That's
deal. Well,
2 kids in 2 years. You mix the years around.
I know.
Married, right? You had 2 kids pretty close.
I understand. It messes with everything. Your memory, your weight, all of that fun stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what do you like? I mean, obviously you've worked in new construction before. What keeps you coming back? What do you like about the new home side of real estate?
So it's really a very interesting opportunity to build something from the ground up. You know, I'm sure you have clients that come in and they get an idea in their head, and finding that special something is difficult to begin with. But there's just something magical about being able to accomplish their vision. Looking at a lot like a blank slate and essentially getting the opportunity to watch them walk into a building that we essentially designed for them. It's just kind of magical.
Yeah, for sure. And so Skogman Homes, tell us a little bit about Skogman Homes as a builder.
So Skogman has been building actually for about 70 years. We didn't do anything to celebrate the 70th year. We should have, but
you missed out. Yeah.
It sounds pretty remarkable. So they're a family company. They've been in Cedar Rapids for that long, and what's really neat about them is that they have kept the family running the company for this long, and it's still to this day run by members of the same family. So I think in essence, they've really figured out how to put together plans that speak to the families here in Cedar Rapids, you know, what their priorities are and what they're hoping to, you know, achieve in terms of space for their family.
Sure. So Skogman Homes has been around for 70 years, and that's kind of crazy. Not a lot of businesses in any industry are around for that long. Why do you think that the Skogman Homes has been around for 70 years? What has help them weather that storm?
Yeah, I think one of the things that really resonates with a lot of our buyers, and actually for me, why I came to work for them is that they have a sense of integrity that resonates not only with the folks that they choose to work on your homes, but also who they're choosing to build the materials that we actually pick to put in our houses. So, for example, Lindsay is a company that supplies some of our windows. They're one of the first in the market for vinyl windows, and they are a debt-free family company out of Minnesota. And through Skogman's due diligence and research, they decided to partner with this company to put windows in our homes. And that just right there is a small example of the type of background that they do when they investigate, materials that we put in our homes and who's working on our homes and who we decide to buy land from. It's just a whole formula of just making sure that the energy that we put out is that of a family first, having integrity and just keeping really good values. If that makes sense.
No, yeah, it definitely does. So, what kind of, you've been doing this for a few years now, what kind of trends, design trends are you seeing? Everybody's always interested in what the next best thing is and color schemes and materials. What are some of the design trends that you're seeing lately?
It's really interesting, and I wonder if you're seeing this too, Jared. I'm seeing a lot of folks really focus on the garage.
On the garage, sure.
The garage was just a place to put bikes, and you might get some folks that would want to do a little storage for a workshop. But now we're seeing people kind of go from pimp your basement to pimp my garage.
Oh, sure.
Folks do, big screen TVs and wet bars and things in their garage that essentially will elevate their level of, just drama and intrigue when it comes into the garage, which a lot of these homeowners now, I'm just hoping that I get invited to their next tailgate parties.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm seeing the same thing. A lot of people would rather hang out in their garage than park in their garage, but
right.
Yeah, to each their own. What about the interior of the house? What are you seeing in there?
Oh, so interior, we're seeing a shift. So last year, I'm sure you've seen all over HGTV, the biggest trends have been the farmhouse look over the past couple of months, and that industrial chic. We're kind of seeing that go by the wayside a little bit, and we're seeing a little bit more warmth come back. So we're seeing lighter floors, more wood tones come back with cabinetry, a lot of function being more of the focus than necessarily the form. So just looking at how we can create things that are more efficient, and that plays a huge part in designing drop zones that have a charging station, and smart homes are also big too. We're seeing a lot of integration of the electrical panel with the actual, HVAC of the house. So it's really kind of, I would say, more of a shift to how we can make things more convenient. In terms of design, I'm actually seeing more focus on windows, believe it or not, just bringing more windows into spaces and creating more dramatic window structures so that you could get a better view out the back. So does that answer your question a little bit?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And some of the people listening might not know, but what I want to know is, when are those ugly brass fixtures going to come back? Like really bright brass handles on your sink and brass rings around your lights. Is that coming back at all?
Oh, Jerry, they're already back. We're seeing
the
brass
golden
come
oak.
back in full effect, and we're actually seeing a lot of folks mix metals. So you'll see a kitchen with your brushed nickel not appliances, but your fixtures mixed with brass lighting fixtures. And I don't necessarily think it's the brass that you might have in mind from like, our parents.
1995, yeah.
Yeah, so not necessarily the brass from that era, but it's more of a like muted brass, which is interesting. You'll see it in design magazines all over the place. And the oil or bronze is still very popular. But yeah, I don't know. Everyone thinks that they need to be matchy-matchy, but we're seeing more matches
Mix it, yeah.
with different light fixtures and the doorknobs. You don't have to match them all together.
Sure. Do you have a favorite between stainless steel or slate?
Well, I've got kids, so slate for sure, just because you don't worry about my toddler who will go up and lick the refrigerator occasionally, which is
tasty.
Not very normal. But
well,
yeah,
everybody does that.
Everyone licks.
Nobody's gonna tell you about it, but it helps you save on the calories if you just lick the fridge instead of go inside the fridge. Good. So what kind of
the climate here in Iowa is very, as you know, is very temperate, but at the same time, you get a lot of variable in it. So engineered hardwood is very forgiving with that, and so we're seeing a lot of engineered hardwood in our homes. And I would say in the past it might have a negative stigma. It's kind of stigmatized as being cheaper, but I think that's kind of flip-flopping, and it's more, I would say, in the forefront of kind of upgrade, so to speak.
So for the people who don't know what engineered hardwood is, a lot of people know what hardwood floors are, oak or, sometimes I've seen walnut or even pine, but what is an engineered hardwood for those that don't know?
Oh, engineered hardwood is, it's essentially a hard surface where the top layer is a portion of hardwood, and then the rest of it is essentially particle board. So it's not all the way hardwood. It's really nice because it doesn't see the movement that you'll see with hardwood, and it really doesn't show, the gapping that you might see, if you're putting hardwood into, a large portion of your home.
Does that engineered hardwood get nailed down or glued down?
Well, it depends. We can do both.
Okay. Yeah, it depends on the material, depends on the location or area.
And on the overall structure that we're working with. Some houses, floor plans require it, some don't.
Okay. A few more questions I have here for you. Everybody kind of, when somebody's shopping for a house, they say, we're not finding anything we like, let's build, but then they maybe get scared about the building process, or it seems a little bit too encumbersome. What are some of the common myths about building a new house that just aren't true that you hear all the time?
Sure. No, that's a really good question. One of the common myths that we see is that you have to go out and take a construction loan out from your bank. With our process, you don't have to do that. Skogman will require a little skin in the game, so a down payment, so to speak, or earnest money, however folks like to phrase it. We will require a small portion, but it's not necessarily the requirement that you go out and you get the entire mortgage from the bank in order to start construction. So that gives people the peace of mind knowing that they're not necessarily having to go out and take out a construction loan that is essentially going to fluctuate. And then there's also a lot of back-end paperwork to be able to keep that up to date. So there's some peace of mind there. The other misconception is that it's really difficult and you don't have an idea of where you're at in terms of price at any given time. And what we've done is we set up a technology called Home Tracker, and that allows all of your decisions to be tracked on one portal, kind of like Facebook for your home. And that way you know when you're going out and picking out whether it's lights or plumbing, where you stand in terms of the budget. So there's no second guessing, am I at 300,000 or am I at 350, or where you're at with the whole thing.
Sure. Yeah, no, great to know. And I hear those things all the time. It's like, oh, I have to get a construction loan, or hey, I don't know, what pricing we're coming at. And I know that Skogman Homes does a really good job of helping keep somebody, we can explore those other options, but here's your budget, and here's the spreadsheet, and here's what it looks like in real time, which is nice. And you can figure in real time, hey, I maybe want to look at this kind of fixture. Here's what it's going to cost you. Here's how much over budget you're going to be. If you're okay with that, let's move forward. But yeah, you guys do a really good job of that. So what are the neighborhoods? I know that Skogman Homes have specialists all through the corridor. What are the neighborhoods that you service?
So I'm in the southwest side of Cedar Rapids, and it's called Stony Point. For those of you that are familiar with Cedar Rapids, it's at the juncture of 16th and Stony Point Road. You can get, I was going to say, to it off of 18th if you're taking Highway 30, or you can also just take a hop, skip, and a jump over from Westdale Mall. I also service the corridor in the sense of North Liberty and Iowa City. I'm actually a North Liberty resident. Jerad was one of the first people that I met down there, and
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so we have lots down in that area. We also build off-site. So if you're like my husband and I, and you want to be on a lot that Skogman does not own, we'll purchase the lot for you and streamline the process of construction so that you don't have to worry about being in one of our communities per se and finding a lot there. I also help with the home sites up in Country Ridge, which is a development that is off of Highway 100 and Covington Road, and that is in the Kennedy School District.
Wow. So yeah, you service a kind of a wide range of areas, but at least in the corridor, nowhere's too far away. Everywhere is about a half-an-hour drive if you needed to get from Coralville to Cedar Rapids or Cedar Rapids to Iowa City. We see a lot of, at least in the existing and in the new homes, we see a lot of people from Johnson County moving to Lynn County because you can build, you can buy lots for a little bit less than you can buy them down here in the Iowa City area. So we do see a lot of cross-market activity. So how many, if you're looking at Skogman Homes as a whole, as an entity, estimated how many homes you guys build a year?
We are probably going to round up, or round out, I should say, at about 155 this year.
That's a lot.
Yeah, we had a really, it's funny, this year's been kind of strange. Normally August is kind of the vacation month for realtors. People are getting their kids back into school, and we don't see a lot of activity. We had about 20 home sales in the month of August, which is pretty unprecedented. Same with January this year. We had a huge January. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see where we end up for the end of the year, because we're doing a lot of activity on months where historically we're slow. I think with the unfortunate occurrences of hurricanes going on, we see a spike in building material costs.
Sure.
Just demand goes up through the roof. So we're hoping that we can close out some business for the end of the year and capture the prices of materials today, and then that will hopefully offset, the spike in costs that we probably will see towards the middle to end of next year. I sold after Hurricane Katrina, and we saw a spike in material costs as a result. So we're anticipating that.
What are some of your suppliers that are down? What type of suppliers and what type of materials are being affected by the weather that we're having across the nation? Not just the hurricanes, but the wildfires out west. What kind of materials are being affected?
Well, lumber, we get a lot of our lumber from up north, not so much down south, but OSB is supplied throughout the region, and when there's more demand, there's definitely an increase in price. Petroleum goes into the production of a lot of our building materials, and obviously the cost of petroleum does affect not only the cost of our materials, but when things are transported, to us, it really comes into play with that as well. So I'm not so certain about drywall or anything of that sort, but I know it's kind of all one big family that gets,
Yeah, I mean,
when one goes up, they all essentially do.
Yeah, these national disasters are, Yeah, there's a ripple effect through multiple. So our thoughts are with the families that are dealing with that in all the areas. Skogman and Skogman Homes have partnered as far as a hurricane relief fund for Hurricane Harvey. We are taking donations. So talk to your Skogman agent or your Skogman company about where you can drop off some things to help with those people for those listening. But just a couple last questions. If somebody wanted to chat with you about the possibility of building a new home and what that process looks like, where can they find you?
Well, you can always find me on my phone. My number, I will go ahead and I can share as a comment here, but
sure.
For those of you listening, it's 319-855-0248. Otherwise, I'm at the model Monday, Thursday, and Friday, as well as the weekend. My model is 6605 Underwood, like Carrie Underwood. On the southwest side of Cedar Rapids. So all of our information, myself and my coworkers, all of our information is included on our skogmanhomes.com website.
Sure. Yeah. So and we just redid our website, so check that out. You can find Ashley. Just Google her name or look up her information here. But Ashley, any last things you wanted to add today?
Thanks for inviting me. I feel like such a huge dork, and I know I'm not the most articulate when it comes to this kind of stuff, so I appreciate it, your invitation, and I hope we can do this again.
Yeah.
I really love being able to help out clients, whether it's up in Cedar Rapids or the corridor, so let us know what we can do. And if you just want to come check out one of our models, we've got a ton of different styles, whether it's white kitchens, gray kitchens, dark kitchens. We can direct you to an open house or one of our spec homes to check it out. So it's worth a Sunday trip
For sure.
You're up in Cedar Rapids, and we would love to give anyone a tour.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. Thanks for joining us. And you're not a dork, but anyway, I'll have you on again, and we will see you around town.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye. All right, everybody. So that was Ashley Bermel with Skogman Skogman Homes, rather. She is a new home specialist and a licensed real estate agent. So she can help you through the whole home process in the Iowa City area and the southwest side of Cedar Rapids. So she's my go-to as far as new homes information and yeah, anyway, so I hope that's informative for you guys. If you need any more information about new homes, just let me know or contact Ashley. She'd be happy to help you. So I hope you guys are having a great day. Be great, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.